Alright, what's going on YouTube? This is going to be a care video for green tree pythons in general. What I got here is a juvenile one. You guys have all seen them, those who've subscribed and are my friends and everything. Those who haven't, this is a sarong type green tree python. And he or she is about 5 months, 6 months old maybe. Alright, and so I just upgraded him to this cage. I just screwed all this stuff in. This was his original cage setup that I had him in, so nothing too special there. And now he's got all of this stuff. It's all bamboo sticks. I'd really suggest it, and then you can waterproof it so that it doesn't get moldy, which is what these were. These were already waterproofed. So these are all waterproof sticks, and they're natural bamboo. And I screwed them in. You can see there on the side. They're screwed in. And then what I have here is I have my little temperature thing, and the little probe here. I wrapped it with a paper clip so that I could have it so that it gets the air temperature. So I mean, I can put it up like this so that it's always kind of standing up, and I'll get a good reading of the air temperature. Alright, so basically when you pick out your first green tree python, you want to go to a pretty reputable person. Pick out whichever color morph. There aren't any morphs actually besides albino. They're just a bunch of different colors and like a couple cool things like tricolors and that sort of thing. But when you get them, you want to make sure that number one, the main major thing, is get it non-sexed. If it especially is underneath a year, or if it's, I would say you probably shouldn't even sex them until they're a year and a half to 2 years, because their little tails are so delicate. I wouldn't really suggest holding them if they're brand newborns, like if they're like a month old or so. Probably after like about 5 months, which is pretty much how old mine is. So I'd say about 5 months is when you can hold him, because he's getting a little bit tougher now. He's let's see, in comparison to my hand, here he is. So, that's pretty much what that is. So I'd wait, until they're about 5 months old, because they're really, really delicate. Their spine, I mean, is so delicate, and you can do a lot of harm to them if you aren't handling them correctly. A little pointer on how, let's see if I'll try to show you guys how I get him out. If I can prop this up. I don't know where I'm going to be able to prop this up. Get a good view of him. You guys can kind of see that. Here, I'll show you just what I do. I flip him over upside down like this. You guys can see that. Let me see if I can. Is that seen there? Yeah, you can kind of see that. I flip him over upside down, and right where this little fold is in his belly, I kind of tickle this a little bit. I get him to kind of spread himself out, and I just kind of pull him off like that, and then it comes off no problem. And I didn't pull him at all. He kind of just dropped right into my hand. And this actually, I find that the sarongs are very, very docile. And the sarong types turn into they get green, of course, after their color change, but their little markings here, they turn into like blue diamonds. And they're really pretty. So this is actually a really nice green tree python. He tried to bite me once. That was just after feeding, and he got a lot of blood all over him, so I wanted to try to get him out and clean him up. But my fingers kind of smelled a little bit like food. So, and then another thing when you're getting them out or putting them back in is you let them go off of your hand. You don't want to put them. You don't want to just kind of like throw them in or like push them off of your hand and doing this sort of thing. You don't want to like have them see like on your hand and then kind of like brush them off or anything. You really just want to let them come from your hand to the branch. Another thing that you're gonna need is a water dish. Of course, you need that with everything. You're gonna need a spray bottle. I got this. I got this from Costco, actually. I got 7 of these for like $5, so it was a pretty good deal. What I do is every 2 days, 2 to 3 days, based on whatever the humidity is, I'll just kind of spray down everything. and I'll try to spray, and especially when he's in a coil, they drink from their coils. So when they get all nice and coiled up, like you saw in the beginning, they drink all the liquid from their coils. And I'll just try to get the sides of it kind of, misted a little bit, and yeah, that's pretty much what you do there. Feed them appropriately sized food, so pretty much anything that's about the size of the widest part of their body, their girth. Right now, I'd say a pinky is what I'm feeding him. So when you get a newborn one, you're gonna want to get a pinky, and if it's a small little baby, you might even have to cut a pinky in half, and then you can still feed him the other half of the pinky. It's just it might not be large enough, or the snake itself might not be large enough to actually ingest an entire pinky. So a half of a pinky the first time, and then right after they're done, if they take it, you can give them the second half. And it even increases their feeding response just because of that scent of the blood. I'll want them to go and eat. With this little guy, he's a pretty good feeder. You guys have seen in previous videos how good of a feeder he is. Go ahead and check it out on my channel if you haven't. It's the Sarong type green tree python feeding video. You'll see it there. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. You're definitely going to want to keep a good temperature in there. I'd say 85 to 95 degrees. That's what the air temperature is going to be. I keep it at like about a 90 generally. And then what I do is I have a heat pad underneath it. And then what I do is I don't have my heat lamp right now. See, I close the top up like this. So this is my new tank, so I'm still kind of experimenting with temperatures and everything. It's just a 16-quart Sterilite tub. Yeah, same thing that my Pastel is in over there. What I'll do is I'll actually put a heat lamp, probably atop of this lamp right here, so that I could, do that. But I'll put it there, and it'll, something maybe lower, and it'll actually turn the whole top of this thing into like a heat mat, and it actually radiates throughout the whole thing, and the heat will radiate down through it, and it gets it pretty hot. The air temperature will get to about 95 during the day, so it's pretty nice. It's good temperature. Another thing, this is just a hatchling, 5 months old, so he doesn't need quite a large tank right now. Like I said, this is 16. Yeah, let me just see. Yeah, 16 quart. You can see here on the side I have like 3 levels. Bam, bam, and then high one. And then I have 3 levels of sticks here, so they're kind of like stairs. If he goes on the bottom, he can be on the lower one, middle one. You just want to give them a lot of options. They feel more comfortable wherever there's a lot of options for them to kind of climb on. You can even get that fake Fluker's bamboo. I'm actually going to probably, instead of screwing these in, I'm probably going to end up super gluing them onto the sides, because I'm not ever going to use this tank for anything else. Who knows? I mean, I could still take it off. But a lot of people will do removable limbs. They'll be able to take them off. I don't really like that though, because it just doesn't. It's not as nice. I mean, when I can get this tank out and I can shake it around, and nothing's gonna fall out. So it's nice. I would suggest also using paper towels on the bottom, just because there could be issues with mites and little respiratory issues. I mean, I really don't like any bedding in general. Like the ReptiBark, it's got so much ink and dyes in it. If you're to put that stuff, I mean, I told this to one person, they were saying, oh, it's 100% fur bark and there's no dyes or chemicals. Try this experiment for me. If you use ReptiBark and you don't think it's very, it doesn't have very many dyes and it's all 100% natural, get about a bucket of water and put some ReptiBark in there. About as much ReptiBark as there is water in the bucket. Put it in there, and if the water doesn't turn red, then, well, I'm sorry, I was wrong. But from what I've seen, it turns bright red, or maroon or whatever. Alright, that's all the time I got, guys. You're going to need a heat lamp. Full radiant heat pad.